What is up there, workforce? Chris here with Work to Game, and we need to talk about making money off of materia. Right now, people are dumping all of the old materia as they move into 7s and 8s. Keep in mind that you can only have, there's going to be rules on how many 8s you can have, so that's going to mean that 7s still have value. They're doing the same thing with kind of, it seems like all of them. So 6s are going to make 5s more valuable, and so on down the line. I don't see that value really extending too much below 5s and 6s. The 5s and 6s being used by people that don't want to pay the premium of 7s and 8s. Maybe it's an alt class. Maybe they're just starting out and they find themselves tight on cash or whatever the case may be. With that, a lot of this materia is getting dumped, especially that primary stat materia, because the primary stat materia no longer does anything. That doesn't mean it doesn't have value. Definitely never sell anything below vendor price, ever, ever, ever. You can always just do vendor price, but you'll notice that I'm standing here out in game, and I'm in Central Thanalan. So that's Blackbrush Station right next to me, and as we look here, you came here a long time ago. You were a much lower level adventurer, and you may not have been back since. So I've gone ahead and I've grabbed a little bit of materia here. If I sort my inventory, I've picked up a little bit, and I've been buying this at rates that kind of make sense to me. The numbers will change over time because the numbers are based on the price of the materia I expect to get. So if we go ahead and I actually find that I like to go ahead and just like drag these down, because once you're in this screen, you cannot adjust your inventory. And so I like to make it very clear where the materia I'm getting are going. And that way I know that those I haven't necessarily worked my way through. What we're hoping to get is the craftsman materia, the dark blue, the gatherer's materia, the green, and then some of these reds have value because stats like crit have a lot of value. So I would hold on to those as well. Occasionally you might find something like skill speed or something like that actually spikes in price. But usually your purples and yellows are nearly worthless. And so those are going to be the ones that you're trying to turn in. Mutamix actually takes 5 materia and turns them into a random materia. Now, I have heard that if one of the whatever materia you're turning in is removed from the drop rate, especially if it's, and I've also heard that that's only in cases where it's 3 or more slots. But in the quantities that I've been dealing in, I haven't worried much about it because I've literally transmuted probably 3,000 or more materia this week. So I've been doing it in big batches like this. So you can see this is a big stack of 426. It would take me a while to go through this, but basically I right click, I turn in 5. If you wanted to turn in multiple types, you would choose less than 5, and you can go ahead and choose that. Now you don't want to mix quality levels. So you only put 5s with 5s, 4s with 4s, 6s with 6s, and so on. So he's going to do this, and he's going to do an animation for the first one. So he takes a second. So that might make you think, oh my gosh, this is going to take forever. But they've actually made it to where that animation only plays on the first one of the sessions. So as long as I don't back out of this screen, I don't get it again. Now there is another animation that I will get, but I will only get it one time. So the max you can ever have in a session is 2 cutscenes, and the other one is when you get an upgrade. So if I just keep kind of working through these, you can actually have eventually it is possible that these 5s will yield a 6. So you can see I've already got some craftsmen and some gathering, so I'm already making money there. And here it is, the cutscene. I think it's like a 10% chance. So it shows up fairly often. And, you know, you'll have to watch this one. You can skip it, but it's really fast, and then it's over. Now we will never get any more cutscenes, no matter how long I stay in the screen after this. And that was my Savage Materia Might 5s, which were selling at around 125 at the time that I bought all these up. And I got a Gatherer's Guerdon level 6, which sells way, way, way above that. Way above 5 times that. Way above 10 times that. So there is just so much money to be made here by just sitting here and doing this. And actually, if you really just put your mind to it, you get a lot done really fast. It feels like, how would you ever get through 400? But you can do a couple of things to optimize. So the first thing you can do is, if you're a keyboard and mouse player, you can actually move this over. And shorten that distance up. And so then your mouse is moving less. And then you also notice that as you click, if you press OK over here and you stay on the left side of the button, then you miss the confirm. Once you hit confirm, you want to be on the yes, but you don't want to be on the right side of the button, because you'll notice that if I click over here, it's no. So you want to kind of be in that left third. And as long as you're clicking right here on the OK, confirm, yes, no mouse movement. So I can do it a little bit faster that way, and just kind of and you get in the hang of it, and you can really move through these. So you see I already got another 6 there. Craftsman seems to be selling a little more than Gathering right now. But the point is that you're turning it into items of value, and these are items that people have been selling below vendor, which means I could literally buy theirs and vendor them and make money. Some of these have been selling for as little as 1 to 30 gil. I checked every server this morning on my data center and racked up, I don't know, I probably bought 2,000 or 3,000, and I have been making somewhere between 1 and 2 million gil a day doing this. So it's a lot of money that you can go through. It doesn't take an enormous investment because you're buying stuff that costs hundreds, not thousands. I would type in materia 5 as a partial search because that will reveal 5s, 6s, 7s, and 8s. And then I would find what price you're comfortable with. And that really has to do with getting a feel for like how much the blues and greens are selling for on your server and then working backward through that math. Like I have found on Sargatanos, for example, that, if I'm paying vendor price, I'm making a killing. So I can actually afford to go above vendor price if I want to buy more materia. And so I've started edging that up and getting a feel for where I'm still making money. And, on the 5s, for example, my last round of 5s, I bought everything that was under 250 gil. And every once in a while, I'll see somebody else go through and buy all the way up to 500. So it's as high as you're comfortable. Just know the higher you go, the more transmuting you're going to have to do and the thinner your margins might get, but that you're doing it across a greater quantity. So I just wanted to kind of show this off and show you how easy this is. It's a mindless task. It is exactly like fishing or gathering. Like you just sit there and do it, put some music on. You can see I'm getting a lot of blues and greens. Now that they've removed the primary stats, the loot table got a lot easier to get the ones you want, but the market hasn't really adjusted accordingly. So there's still people just using these blues and greens faster than I can generate them. And so I'm absolutely making a ridiculous amount of money just providing to that demand. And I'm not flipping them. I'm not buying them at 7,000 and selling them at 7,500. That's incredibly risky. I'm buying them at the equivalent of 5 at vendor price or 5 at just above vendor price, and I'm selling them at that price. So if that price drops by 1,000, 2,000, it doesn't matter to me. I've got room to play. And so I just wanted to show this. I cannot state this plainly enough. Do not sell things below vendor price. When you go to a market board, you right click on an item and you list it. But actually in that right click menu, you can sell the item to the vendor right there. There is no reason to put it on the market board, to wait for it to sell, to have the market board take a cut to get less than vendor price, and definitely never list it below vendor price. Come here, transmute these. I keep them in my Chocobo saddlebag till they build up and I don't have anything better to do. And then I come over here and I transmute them until my dungeon pops or until I got to log off for the night or whatever the time may be, and just get to that. My name is Chris with Work2Game. I hope this helps you guys make a silly amount of money this expansion. And if nothing else, I hope it helps level out the materia market. That is in all of our best interest long term. Thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic day. Go load yourselves up with Gil, and I'll see you next time.
Thanks so much for watching this video. If you want to check out any other videos, you should click over here. And then we've got like some kind of vlog thing down here in the corner. And then we've got like subscribe. Like that's really, you should totally do it. This was a complete disaster.